Welcome to the Blue Jungle, the sports podcast from The Signal. On the first episode, Devonne Slappy and Ben Abrams take a look at the upcoming 2016 season for the Panther football team. They break down all the games, tell you which ones they think are wins and losses. Also, will the Panthers make the bowl for a second season in a row? And also, how they'll match up in the Sun Belt standings. All that and more on this first episode of the Blue Jungle. Now let's go to the host. All right, good morning, Georgia State. Well, it's morning right now, and welcome to our first official edition of the Blue Jungle.
I'm Devonne.
I'm Ben, and this will be the sports podcast for The Signal. Basically, anything that involves doing Georgia State sports, we'll be here to cover it, discuss it, just discuss all the big things that are going on with sports. As you can see, Devonne will be here regularly with you.
Yeah, we'll be here just reporting all the different news that's coming out. We got the big Panthers football season coming up, basketball season. It's time to get into that Blue Jungle fever right now.
Yeah, we also got some other folks who will also be here along the way. We also have Toby Adeyemi, as well as the sports editor Rashad Milligan, who will also be coming in here from time to time to also break down everything that's going on. But first things first, obviously, school's back in, and right off the bat, we're going to look at football.
Yeah, right off the bat, we're going to talk about the football season preview, maybe the Panthers win-loss prediction, their bowl eligibility, as well as their prediction for the Sun Belt Conference.
Yeah, well, obviously, everyone knows, or anyone who's following the Panthers knows that they came off of what will be, I guess, considered a really big year for the foundation of the football program. I think that's what Woody Bass called it. And, of course, the big thing was, they went 6-6, went to the first time everyone went to a bowl game. Didn't win the bowl game, but still, the fact they got there and, the 7 short years this program's been around, it's been huge. So.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Coming from 2-6 and then getting on that 4-game winning streak to make it right into that bowl game, I think really, like Ben said, it really gave us that foundation to start out the season for the next year, for the coming years.
So anyway, like we were saying, we look at this new season right now. Obviously, expectations. Hopefully they can just build on this and make the second straight bowl game. But also, it's not going to be an easy schedule.
No, not at all. They got the first home game at Ball State, and then after that, they got 3 really tough road games against App State, Wisconsin, and
they got Air Force. Yep.
Air Force as well.
All right, so anyway, we're just going to go ahead and just look through the schedule, just go by game, and just, give y'all like our opinion, how we think they're going to do. So I guess let's just get started. First game, season opener, September 2nd against Ball State.
I think that's an easy win. The Panthers will be at home during that game, first home game off the season. And I think that Ball State, I think they just hired a new head coach, if I'm right.
Yep, let's see. Mike Neal, if I'm pronounced that correctly, new coach, former quarterbacks coach for the New Orleans Saints, but he's got some work cut out for him. He's having a struggling offense, a defense that is returning most of their starters, but also had, given away a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns, especially in their last 3 games. Let's see, 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. And, of course, even though, the Panthers also have some things to figure out on opening day, I still feel like they got 9 stars returning on defense. So
the Panthers should have no problem getting this game underway. I think that anything coming off, this is Mike New's first time ever being a head coach at all. He's always been an assistant coach or something near that. So to come into his first football game at home against the Panthers that has a returning defense and a couple of good power stars on offense with Penny Hart, Ruiz, and the veteran Robert Davis, I just think that even if the Panthers don't have a starting quarterback right now, that they're going to go ahead and take this one.
Yeah, I think this will be a win. I do agree with there. So I guess we both agreed it's a win. So they started off the season 1-0, and then after that they go to probably the toughest stretch on their schedule. I mean,
without a doubt.
All right, so game 2, they have to get on a plane, fly to Colorado Springs, take on Air Force.
Yeah, the second game of the season. Air Force is coming off their bowl-eligible season as well last season. They also are predicted to finish second in their own conference of the preseason, and they've had one of the best rushing attacks in the college football. Last year they averaged around 319 rushing yards a game. whereas the Panthers only average no more than 100 yards.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing about Air Force is that they have, especially a lot of service schools, they've been known to really like to run the ball. And of course, they're looking to return a strong running attack as well as, get their main starting quarterback back. And they do have a good receiving core. They don't use as much, but when they do use it, it's effective. They also have a strong defense returning who had 37 sacks last year.
Yeah, and with the Panthers offensive line already being shaky last year and not getting any better this year, losing a couple key starters, it's not looking good for their O-line.
Yeah, so they could get a win, but I don't see it happening.
Not at all, especially without this will be their first quarterback on the roads game with little experience. I just don't think they'll get it done.
All right, so both agreed. Going to be 1-1, headed up to Wisconsin, and let's just get this one out the way.
Big Ten powerhouse. It's just not. Yeah.
I mean, this might as well just be, a check game. I mean.
Oh yeah, they're going against the second-ranked defense last year, and Wisconsin on the road is just going to be a slog.
Yeah, and then they also won 10 games last year, and of course, this is going to be whoever the new quarterback is going to be his third game, and he's going to have to play a Big Ten powerhouse. So, yeah, we're also, I think, both in agreement that it's going to be another loss for them right there. So, all right, and then out the Wisconsin game, then they got to go to Boone, North Carolina to play App State.
So, yeah, this will be their third straight road game right off the bat. App State was predicted to finish first in the Sun Belt in this year's preseason poll.
I don't see why. I mean, they only lost 2 games last year. One of them was to the national runner-up Clemson. The other one was to Arkansas State, who, went undefeated in the conference. So, I mean, really, and also they got 18 stars returning,
Yeah, which is even crazy. And, in fact, they have the Sun Belt's preseason defensive player of the year already, John Law, and their quarterback, Taylor Lamb, coming back, who threw for 291 yards and 3 touchdowns on the Panthers last year.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you, man. I don't think that it's going to really I don't think it's looking good for the Panthers, especially after they only gave up 3 points, and that was with Nick Arbuckle at quarterback. So, new offense, how to rely on a more running game. I don't see it happening.
Not at all. It's going to be another slaughter.
Okay, so 1-3. All right, so granted, it's not going to look great at that point. I'm sure, just going to start getting questions. But then, good news is after that, they return home on October 8th to take on Texas State, who also has a new coach, also rebuilding after a disastrous season, too.
Yeah, especially last year, the Panthers already beat this team on the road 41-19, and in fact Texas State was, like you said, predicted to finish 10th in the Sun Belt Conference this preseason. It just looks like an easy game for the Panthers to get back on their feet and really beat up on them.
Well, not to mention that they were 124th in total defense and 120th in scoring defense, so I think this will be a bounce back game for the Panthers. So looking at 2-3 at this point. And then next week, they'll also play Troy then, Or actually, no, they're going on the road to Troy. But Troy also does have some issues they have to work out as well.
Yeah, Troy finished last season 4-8. However, they are predicted just to finish 5th in the conference, but that's right behind Georgia State, so even the preseason post predicted it. And last time, Keith Rucker in that game against Troy had 10 catches for 154 yards, so look for the Panthers to keep attacking with their tight ends.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty good that offense could be better this year, but at the same time, I still feel like even with, at this point, the issues should start coming together, so I think the Panthers will have their offensive issues figured out, or at least starting to figure them out, and I think that defense is too good, so.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so next game, the 29th, UT Martin. Now, 2 things I guess to look at UT Martin. Number 1, they did average more points per game last year than Georgia State did, 35-27. But their defense also gave up a lot of points.
Yeah, their defense, I want to say, gave up around 30 points per game. And so, but they, like you said, UT Martin averaged 35 points per game. So just look for that to be kind of a shootout kind of a game. I think that it's not going to be a defensive game at all.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, and I could agree with you right there. And I think that especially with, the receivers you have with Hart, with
Robert Davis,
and Keith Rucker. And also, I still feel like the running back, at least the running committee, should be improving at that point. I'm not sure what a quarterback will be at that point, but yeah, I think they still could get a win. And even though it may not be a defensive game, I still feel like, between Bobby Barker and Alonzo McGee, it should be,
Yeah, by this time, the Panthers should already know who their starting quarterback is. They should be able to get in the groove, and I feel like that being at home as well, this would be the perfect time for them to go ahead and get another conference win.
All right, and then the next game will be 29th at South Alabama. Last I heard, South Alabama is also in a 3-man competition for quarterback. Running back is a strong suit, but the 2 running backs they have, Xavier Johnson and Tyrese Thomas. They only combined for 1,500 yards last year.
Yeah, and the South Alabama Jaguars also, they had one of the worst defenses in the conference. Their defense gave up an average of 37 points per game last season. So look for the Panthers to get in that groove again on offense. Even if they don't have even if their starting quarterback is a little shaky now, I feel like with this game, they can get it done.
Yeah, not to mention they were 10th in scoring in the Sun Belt last year. So it seems like they do have some issues on offensive production. So from the way it looks right now, that should be a win. All right, so it looks like we're agreeing on all points at this point. Now, November 3rd, that's where I think, they have a good winning streak and everything. They won 4 straight. I think it ends here with Arkansas State, man.
Oh, without a doubt. Arkansas State was predicted to finish second in the preseason poll this season, and this is probably their toughest home game of the season, without a doubt.
Yeah, and even though they got a new quarterback, they do have an experienced offensive line with a few all-conference players heading up that line, too.
Yeah, Arkansas State has 12 players that received 2016 preseason All-Sun Belt Conference football team.
Oh, good Lord.
That's more than half of their team is on the preseason team.
Well, and I think one thing is looking at one of their previews is that, they also have a 1-2 punch at running back, with Johnson White and Warren Ward. They can really change up the pace of tempo, which might overwhelm the defense at times. So.
Oh, without a doubt. And with last year, them averaging 40 points and getting more than 12 of their players back, yeah, I expect them to light up the Panthers.
Yeah, and
defense.
Also one more note, defense led the nation in interceptions, defensive touchdowns, and tied for second in turnovers. So.
Yeah, and whoever our quarterback is, with the minimal experience they already have, despite how many games they played this season, I just don't think that he's going to be able to get it done.
Yeah, all right. So then moving on to November 12th, they're at home against UL Monroe. Now, good thing is ULM went 2-11 last year.
Yeah, and they're predicted not to do any better this season. They're predicted to finish last in the preseason poll.
Yeah, they really did not have great offensive production last year. I mean, they really didn't. They ranked last in points, total offense, and also had 30 turnovers.
Yeah, and they gave up 36 points a game as a defense. So look for the Panthers to just go ahead and beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, they will get some pieces back, but I think this should be a good confidence builder after coming off Arkansas State, which they'll need, because then the next week, Georgia Southern comes back, and they're going to want to win, man.
Yeah.
Especially after the way they were humiliated last year on their home field, when I think they actually still at least had a shot at, I don't know they had a shot at the Sun Belt last year, but I think they could have had number 2 or number 3 at some point. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a rivalry game to get shown up 34-7.
Yeah, 34-7
on your home field. I mean, they're gonna want some retribution this year.
So yeah, but I think that it's any given Saturday, as I would say, just because it's a rivalry game. The series this season, or the series overall in football, is tied 1-1 right now. Southern has 12 returning starters. The Panthers have 16. It's really going to be a battle of, how the Southern loves to run their ball. So it's really going to be if the Panthers defense can stop that run defense and give the offense more opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but however, this is the one game where I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I mean, it is true. It is going to be a rivalry game. Anything can happen, but just looking at what Georgia Southern has coming back. I mean, now, granted, they do have a first-year head coach this year in Tyrone Summer, but besides that, I mean, and granted, he is talking about wanting to add a passing game, which, that could, take some time to adjust to, especially for a running school like Georgia State.
For
but
sure.
Besides that, I just feel like the experience there could overwhelm them. They got, at least 10 players in the rotation between defensive line and linebackers that are going to be strong. They also have 2 seniors who are going to be sharing snaps at quarterback, which, granted, season will almost be over. New quarterback will have a season under his belt, but I think first year against a couple of seniors, that's going to be hard to compete against. So, and then also last year, Georgia Southern was second in Sun Belt in total defense as well. So I just think that, between that and just, all the weapons they have, it might be too much this time.
I just think that, like I said, any given Saturday, I think that this defense, with having a majority of the Panther starters coming back on defense and holding that offense last year to only 7 points on the road, I feel like that they can do the same at home. It's really just going to depend on that quarterback. Like I said, we have little information on him right now, who it's going to be, but hopefully by then he can find his stride and hit those targets, because the Panthers do have those offensive weapons again. Penny Hart, Carr has a second year under his belt. Robert Davis is coming back senior year, leading that receiving corps. Then you have Keith Rucker at the tight end. And I just think that with the new coaches that the Panthers supplied, a new offensive line coach and a new defensive line coach as well, to really build off of that energy that they've already had, I think that they can find a way to sneak a win. Will it be pretty? No, but any given Saturday.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I won't totally write them off, but this is just looking at August right now. But just looking at August, knowing that, new quarterback, granted, we may not know what we see out of him. Taking on a team with experience, taking on a team that I think is going to be motivated to try to get back on the winning side of that rivalry. I can just on paper, it just does seem like the advantage just goes.
Oh, without a doubt, so. Yeah, on paper it does.
All right. Anyway, and then of course we go to our last game of the year, which will be December 3rd. They head up to Idaho. So, and here's the thing, just looking at Idaho, it seems like they do have some promise with their offense, especially with their quarterback. But once again, another struggling defense, 123rd in scoring defense.
Yeah, that defense gave up an average of 40 points a game last
Also 118th in total defense, which is probably why they got that ranking. But, this will be the last game of the season. I mean, it will be coming off of, what will be, I guess, another tough part of their schedule.
Yeah.
But this should be a win for Georgia State.
Oh, yeah. This should be a definitely easy win for them. It should be a good way to finish out the season strong and get another win under their belt.
All right, so then the season will wrap up, and I got them at 7-5 with my picks.
Yeah, I have them at 8-4, but like we said, we were debating about that Georgia Southern, so who knows? It's just August, like you said, so on paper, it doesn't look good.
But, I mean, from the way it looks right now, I'm just saying, we have to wait till they see they actually play the games. But from the way it looks, this team should, be at least a 7 or 8 win team. I can see them a 7 or 8 win team.
Yeah.
Like I said, unfortunately, I think they got those two games at the beginning. Air Force, Wisconsin, App State. I know anything can happen, but I don't feel confident about them.
No, and those games are actually kind of helpful for the Panthers to get a learning experience early. I'd rather them have those tough games early, get them out the way, so that way they can find out who that quarterback's going to be and what situation works, and then build off of that.
Because my feeling is if Arbuckle was still here, they did have, or one of the quarterbacks did have maybe a year under his belt, I could actually see them. I would confidently say 8 games. Possibly 9 at this point. But I think that this team, does have the weapons, and they will be bowl eligible again this year.
Without a doubt.
Be bowl eligible. They will make a bowl again.
Yeah.
I don't think they're quite ready to take on the Sun Belt yet.
No, I don't think they'll be in the Sun Belt Championship or anything like that. But I do think that they'll at least finish, what I would say, 4th in the Sun Belt.
I agree, man. I just think that, because my feeling is that the 3 that are going to finish ahead of them are going to be the 3 teams that beat them, Are going to be the 3 conference losses at least,
Yeah, it should be. What do you have? I have App State, Arkansas State, and Georgia Southern.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'll be honest, I'm still curious how App State lost Arkansas State last year. But, I just feel like with the way App State looks, like I said, 2 losses. I think last year possibly could have been only 1 loss, which would have been to Clemson. And like I said, they're fully loaded. They got 18 starters returning. I think that, this is a team that's not going to be it's going to be a force to reckon with.
I have them right behind Arkansas State, or right above Arkansas State.
Yeah, same here. I got Arkansas State number 2, and I got Southern number 3. Like I said, I think Southern seems like they're going to be strong. I think they do have that new coach. Really going to be interested to see how he incorporates the passing game, because I know, especially a lot of those run-first offenses, whenever they try to incorporate the passing game more, it
messes it up.
Well, it could work, but it's like it's got to take some time. You got to find the right quarterback, and then on top of that, you have to. And I don't think you can ever be like a full-fledged attack.
No, not at all.
Even if you watch look at Georgia Tech's offense, it had to take till I think it took them at least a few years just to get some form of passing game that worked for them.
Exactly.
And that wasn't until Justin Thomas came in, and
Exactly, and then even then they had star receivers like Calvin and Demarius Thomas.
Yeah.
But they had to make plays for themselves. They just threw the ball up. So I remember Demarius Thomas telling the Broncos he told Peyton he only knew 8 routes. So that just explains it.
Well, and unfortunately, that is something about those offenses. They're not pro styles. So they don't necessarily prepare players for for the NFL, right? I mean, especially for a receiver. I mean, you're kind of limited. I mean,
yeah, without a doubt. It kind of sucks. I mean, you'll be the best run blocking receiver probably to enter the draft, but other than that, as far as catching touchdowns, it's not a good look.
Yeah, it's not. But anyway, so I know by the time this is released, scrimmage will be over and done by then. So hopefully they'll be one step closer to figuring out who the quarterback is. Really interested about this running back by committee thing. I mean, that's something I've got questions about because it doesn't. I just don't think it ever really works when you try to have this running back by committee and you have like several options. I mean,
it's unless, like you said, running back by committee, you really have to have just a 1-2 punch. It's not really by a 3 or 4. I've never seen in the NFL where they have 3 or 4 running backs, or even in college football, 3 or 4 running backs just going off. You know what I mean? So I think that the Panthers just need to find that 1-2 combo, kind of like the Bengals do with Giovanni Bernard and Jeremy Hill. But like you said, it's just I don't see that happening this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. Like I said, I think that it's kind of a weird year because I wouldn't necessarily call this a rebuilding year.
Yeah, it's
more of like a development year, I guess.
Yeah, in a way, it's like developing the young players, but at the same time having strong talent to at least get you in a competition, keep you competing.
Right.
So it's a bowl eligible season. It's just not a conference winning season.
Yeah, not for. Like I said, maybe. Season or 2, maybe, but I just don't think they're not just here. But I do think that Coach Miles does have them head in the right direction.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's no question there. All right, man. But like I said, in the end, we could be wrong. So
you never know with the Panthers.
All right. Well, anyway, so that'll wrap it up for our first edition of the Blue Jungle.
I'm Devonne.
I'm Ben. Just make sure to check us out. We will be, releasing these every Wednesday during the semester. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of it will just be going football, and like I said, we'll also have Toby and Rashad here during the semester, who will also be helping breaking down what's happening in Georgia State sports. So, like I said, just keep watching, keep tuning in. We'll keep bringing you more stuff.
All right. Take care.
All right, man. Until next week. Take care.
You have been listening to The Blue Jungle, hosted by Devonne Slappy and Ben Abrams. Also produced and edited by Ben Abrams. Music was used with courtesy of Kevin MacLeod at incopytech.com. The Blue Jungle is presented by The Signal, the independent student newspaper of Georgia State University. For more podcasts, stories, and other content, you can visit us on our YouTube page, as well as our SoundCloud page, our Twitter and Facebook page, and our website at georgiastatesignal.com.